Hey everyone, this is Coach Freddie. Today we're just going to go over how to improve your approach jump for your vertical jump. So let's get it. First of all, what is an approach jump? So an approach jump is just a sequence of steps that you take prior before your vertical jump. So the reason why this is important is that you're trying to produce as much velocity as possible before you take off. So the more velocity that you can bring in, so the more speed you can bring in, the more output that you can produce when it comes to your vertical jump. So now let's go over some common mistakes when it comes to your approach jump. The number one common mistake that I see when it comes to your approach jump, especially maximizing to your vertical jump, is choppiness. So what I mean by choppiness, so a common mistake that I would see in athletes, especially when they're trying to get their first jump or improve their vertical jump, is that they will do a pretty good run up, but then at the middle part, they would chop their feet to slow down and then take their last two step or their last step before they get into it. So the reason why this is a bad thing is that you're just overall killing your momentum. So what you're trying to do is that you're trying to be very smooth then explosive at the end, because you're trying to maximize as much force you can. But if you're slowing down, you're not producing as much speed as possible so that you can produce your force. So when you're doing your approach jump, it's very important for you to take your time. So you'd rather be smooth and effective than be fast and non-effective. So what I would rather that you do is that you slow it down, ramp up the speed, and take the steps, and then jump forward. So that is a common mistake number one that I see. So common mistake number two that I see is that a very short penultimate step. So this is very prevalent for a two-foot jumper. What would happen is that the athlete A would come in, and then instead of maximizing the distance that they're trying to cover, they take a very short step with it. So when you're taking your penultimate step, you want to make sure that you extend your body as much as you can. So you want to elongate. And then from here, you want to punch the ground. So the common mistake that I see is very short. So you're shortening your penultimate step instead of lengthening it and producing it. So if you check a lot of elite jumpers, they're maximizing the penultimate step. So they're maximizing the most penultimate step. So you really want to exaggerate. And in clips, I will show you how that will look like. So they're really exaggerating the length of the step, but making sure that they're well controlled. Mistake number three is that they're going too fast, too quickly. At the beginning, take your time, right? Take your time and then gradually ramp it up. A lot of athletes, they'll come in and they're gonna go super fast, then they have to slow down and then they take their last two steps. You want to make sure that you're going smooth, pick up the pace, and then explode for those positions. So you really want to make sure that the last two steps, you're really exploding. So you want to be slow, pick up, and then explode, right? So you're just gradually picking up the pace with it. So slow, then explode, and then jump forward. So now let's talk about how you can fix it. So one of the best way to fixing it is just simply retracing your step when improving your penultimate. So if you calculate the distance where you're gonna start and where you're gonna jump from, calculate how many steps that it would normally take. So what I would like to do is that let's just say this is the rim, but in this case I'm just using vert tack. So let's say this is the rim or the vert tack, right? If I know I'm jumping around here, I'll simply retrace how many steps that it would take. So I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4. So then from here, I know that this is gonna take me roughly around maximum 4 steps. So I'm kind of gauging 3 steps, because obviously when you're gonna be sprinting, you can cover more distance. But I know for a fact that it's gonna take me no more than 4 steps. So then when I get into it, right, so when I'm taking that 1, 2, 3, and then 4, I know I'm roughly around this in my distance zone where I'm gonna tap. Solution number 2. Try to do some low rim dunking or to dunk the tennis ball. These are great methods to teach you your approach jump because it gives you a target and teach you how to do the technique correctly since you have a goal and objective in mind how to reach it. So the way how you want to do your low rim dunking is quite simple. You pick a realistic target for you to reach. So let's say normally you reach 10 feet, right? So you can try to do a 9.10. So this target will actually allow you to actually help you to improve your vertical jump because it's a high enough metric for you to actually go get it, but it's not a low enough metric so where it causes you low stimulus. So it gives you a great way of a feedback. If you're dunking with a tennis ball, it's the same premise, but now you just have a fixed target, which is 10 feet, but the size of the ball has reduced. So now your target is quite simple. It's to dunk the tennis ball. But if dunking the tennis ball is too easy, then you can progress with a soccer ball, with a volleyball. So this is a great way to actually intensify the actions. So these are two ways, right, that will help you to improve on your approach jump. If you made it this far into the video, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this vertical jump technique helps to improve your approach jump. And let me know in the comment if you give it a try in terms of the technique or the method. And I'll catch you on the next video.